All right, everyone, what's going on? Just gonna wait just a second here, see if any more people pop in here. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and just get started because there is quite a lot that I want to do in this build today. So welcome everyone to tonight's stream. The first thing that I will say is we have some terrible city services, but you know what? We're gonna save that for another project. So just ignore that. The one thing that I will address though is the lack of water. It seems like we have an overloaded water pumping station. This is something that we built in the very first episode, and it looks like, you know, it's just this one facility. So I think what we'll do, maybe for now, since we're building kind of more of a town-like area, maybe we could do something cool and put down like a little water tower over here. I think that would be perfect. How about right at the end of this cul-de-sac? This looks like a great spot to maybe do something like that. And we'll go ahead and why don't we use this New England, I always say New England, Northeast water tower. I like the look of this one a lot. I think it's very characteristic to something that you'd find in the States. And it has some cool upgradable features as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this down. Actually, now there's really nowhere on top of a hill that we could put it. I think this will be fine right over here. And that'll do. That'll help us solve our water issue for now. And then, you know what? We're gonna add the sunglasses on here. I love that. I love that addition to this water tower. That is so funny, and something you would definitely find in the States. You know, I live by one town. I think it's either Hammond or Lansing or Calumet City. One of them has a water tower that is or two water towers actually that are known more for their smiley faces. So that is really exciting. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get building here. So what we want to do, the goal of today is to build some forestry industry and some farmland, some rural industry, agricultural industry around this area to kind of fill in the gaps. And then if we have time, we may even go ahead and add in a cargo train station over here. So I think that's going to be a little bit ambitious. And I did plop down, just so you guys know, I know I said you could see these terrible city services that we have going on right now, but we have this, I put down a crematorium just as kind of like a placeholder. I use the French one because it's small and it fits in, you know, in this nice little corner here. And then I just plopped down this little medical clinic, the modern medical clinic. I had issues with this building in an older save game, but I'm hoping that they've since been resolved. And so far, it's looking pretty promising. There was a bug, it looked like, where people the ambulances couldn't get, they weren't able to like drive out of here. So they were just stuck there and weren't able to leave. So for now, we're just going to leave. We're going to let it do its thing. It looks like it's working okay. This guy's dispatched again. So I think we're all right. I think we're going to be all right. Yeah, that's looking like it's running smoothly now. And so hopefully this will just help alleviate some of these ambulance requests kind of in this new city that we've built. And again, I know that this is not detailed, but that is kind of the point of this episode, is to knock out a big part of the build so that we can focus on the detailing in the next, not the next live stream, but the next actual, you know, episode. So that will be a future project. We're going to fill in all these gaps with some parks. I see we have a little area here that could still use some zoning. I'm not quite sure what I want to put there. And I also want to, just spoiler alert, I want to build a university in here as well. So it'll be really cool to put something like that kind of on this hillside. And yeah, but for now, we'll just, you know, let it run. We got traffic flowing in here. Our interchanges are working well, as opposed to the beginning of the last episode when we were all backed up all the way down, you know, through all the way to Central Percussiona. But Yeah, and also one more thing that we might do later is we might even name the city. So the poll is in. Everybody voted pretty heavily towards I think it was Groovesville, I believe, that won the vote. So that might come in a future episode. We might just do a little, city service management, do some districts, just kind of see how this all plays out. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the build for today. So let's start with we'll start with the farmland, I think. And so for the farmland, we're going to kind of fill in this area here and then this area here with some fields. And I'm not just going to plop down a bunch of the industry zone. I want to do something a little bit more special. And this is, kind of a North American build overall in this region. So we're going to see a lot of square fields, but I think we could do something a little more interesting than just, filling in this with like 2 big square fields side by side. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to use the surface tool actually to kind of help us out here and create some unique fields. You figure that some farmers, if you know a lot of my other content, I do city skylines and I do farming simulators. So I am really into farming. I don't, have a farm personally, but hopefully one day we will see. But I know enough about, farming to kind of want to make that a realistic industry in my cities. And so I always try to have a focus on agriculture because it is the backbone of any region. Every town, or not every town, but a lot of towns started out as small farm towns. So I try to keep that, going in my series. And I know I did a bad job of that over here. And I kind of just threw this down. We're going to come back and we're going to rework this in another episode. We're going to fill in like this whole valley. It's going to be its own small little farming region or a county or whatever you will, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to do that at another time. So just bear with me. So I know that doesn't look the greatest here, but we're not going to build something exactly like this. We're going to be a little bit more creative here. So one thing that we could do, as you can see, we have our county roads highlighting kind of our Jeffersonian grid here. Concept I have modeled after City Planner Plays. I think that he does a great job of implementing the Jeffersonian grid, and it's something that you see in the United States all the time, but you kind of overlook, and it really helps just dividing up your land into parcels. I do it based kind of like how he did, based off of zoning tiles or the land tiles that you purchase. I think it is like a natural way to do that. But just dividing up your land makes it look really realistic. So let's go ahead and we'll just plop down we'll do a road like this. And then how about we connect it up to like there. And then so we'll have a farm kind of come off of this road there. And then we'll have another one here. You'll kind of see what I'm going for here. So let's grab a industry zone. And we'll do some, you can see this is all very fertile land. I love modded maps that do this, that make this land a little bit, they make it all very fertile because, naturally that's realistic, right? A lot of these lands in these valleys and these flatter areas are very fertile and very good for farming. But the caveat to that is that due to the tile upkeep mechanic that they've introduced into the game, it makes buying tiles very expensive, but that's okay. That is all right by me. If it's a little bit of extra realism, I will take it. And plop this down here kind of at the end of this road. And I think we'll just be able to do, we got to go this way. Okay. So we'll leave a little bit of a gap to have some trees. So I'm thinking I usually like to leave about 1 tile. So we'll do something kind of like this. Actually can come a little bit closer, I think, right there. That'll work. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that'll be fine. If we can fit some trees kind of in between there, that's great. If not, I'm not too concerned. Because where I'm from, sometimes the farm fields do go up right, up against the highway there. And actually, you know what? I want to adjust this as well. We're going to wrap this around here. I forgot. Actually, you know what? We are not going to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to put a house here. Because everybody needs a little farmhouse. And we'll just use the regular North American low density there. Plop that down. So there we go. And you can see we have a lack of sewage and power and water, which is because this is a rural road. A highway does not have water connected to it. So we're going to run this under here. And we're actually going to just attach it up over here as well, because we're going to be adding in developments along this entire highway. And also, welcome to the stream. Good evening. Hope you guys are doing all right. It is a relatively okay Sunday evening in Chicago, where I'm currently sitting, and weather's all right. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's a little bit chilly, which I don't know. It was actually really hot this past week. It was almost 90 degrees Fahrenheit on Thursday when I had to go into work nonetheless. So very hot. Quite unusual for this time of year, I will say. So it's nice to have a little bit of a cool down, but you know, I do like the warm weather, so I can't really complain. Have been looking forward to it for a long time. Long time. Winter here is crappy, to say the least. But anyway, we'll connect that up there. We should be having power run to the farm now, or not. Did I even connect this up to a road? Oh, this is a county road as well. Well, that'll do it, won't it? I should, and I will, remind me to do this if I forget. If I forget to add a substation over here when we build our cargo station, if we get to that this episode. So for now, I'm just going to connect this power line up there. I'll delete that later. I don't like the way that looks at all, but we're just going to deal with it. So here's like farm number 1. And so we're going to have probably 2 farms here. And so for this field, I'm actually just going to use the surface tool, and we'll fill in some trees. But for this farmland here, we'll do a combination of the two. So this one will just plop the farm like right on the road. And actually, I'll have it go. We'll have it go like this. And this will be a little bit of a smaller field. That's okay. Again, just leaving that 1 tile gap. And there we go. And that's not going to be a big farm, but it'll do just fine. We'll have another one right here. So for this one, I think what we'll do, we'll just kind of have this guy pop off of like this road here. Let's go like right there. Add in a little farmhouse, maybe like here. Then we'll add in the actual industry right over there. Just like that. Well, that's not going to work, is it? I wanted to make actually another an additional road for this farm too. So this one, since it's going to be a kind of a little bit bigger one, and actually I'll do the same here. Maybe I kind of want to divide up. And actually, now that I think about it, it would have been nice to kind of have this field come right across this road here. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to pull this over here a little bit more and add in a road for field access. So we'll build in our second field there, and then that way the tractors and stuff can have an access point there. And we'll do something similar like here. We'll just have a second field kind of over here. This one, we will go ahead and, you know what, I'm actually just going to rebuild this because it's kind of a pain once you put it down, and if you forget to actually zone it out, it could be a bit annoying to do. So we're going to go ahead and just replot that. You know what? I'm actually going to do something a little bit interesting here as well. We'll add like a little pocket of trees here maybe. So I'll kind of have this come at a bit of an angle, so it's not right up against Ah, and I actually can't even... okay. Well, then in that case... I'm not getting the angle that I want. Let's do something like that. Now we can do a perfect 90 here. And we'll bring this out to here. Then we can just follow the contour of the road here. So no, that's not the most, it's a little bit of a random, randomly shaped field there, but you know what? You'll see my vision in a second here. So now that we got these fields down, let's go ahead and put down some of these trees to kind of border this, and then we'll fill in the gap with the surface tool. And I'll show you guys what I mean here. So we'll do like it actually is kind of more beneficial, I think, to actually just put these down one by one. I say as I was trying to do all that. And I know I need to add some connections here, so bear with me. It'll do something like kind of like that for now, and they'll just follow closely along here. And then here I'm gonna make a nice little kind of like a pocket of trees. Do something kind of cool. And I think I have these hickories. Yeah, perfect. I have kind of some bigger trees in here as well. We'll surround it with some of these smaller ones. And I think the pines are good in this part of the map as well. So we'll add in a couple of these where we can. Just kind of keep with the theme of the area. And there we go. So I like that a lot. So now we'll just kind of drag in or plop in some of these trees here as our nice natural border. I think these are just perfect for these little field borders like this. These kinds of smaller trees. They just look so good. So just bear with me here as I do this. This is a little bit tedious. I apologize, but I promise the end result is really worth it. And then we'll do something similar kind of along the highway here. Plopping down some of these trees. And in this spot, maybe we can sneak away with like an oak, something a little bit bigger. And I may even come in through here and add some bushes as well later on, but for now we'll just stick with the trees. So I do need to make sure that we get our power lines through here. Let me go ahead and do that first. And yeah, see already we have a little bit of an issue here because I didn't leave quite enough space to do that. So instead what we're going to do is we are going to remove snapping. Now we're going to drag it just a little bit further away from the road here. we'll leave that for now. I want to make sure that I get that angle right. It's going to bug me. But yeah, we'll connect up our water real quick as well. Let's drag it under here since this is exactly where we want it to be. I'll actually hook up a main this way as well, so there's not only one water pipe feeding into that area. Looking at that, we're going to go ahead and cross the street here as well. Perfect. And for now, I'm going to leave this disconnected. This is a little bit more rural. You know, maybe there might not be pipes underneath every single road. But yeah, again, as you can see here, we have now not enough room to put down any trees. What we could do is maybe get away with some big... There we go. Yeah, we can put down some bigger bushes here. We'll go ahead and do something like this. This is a little bit better, too, because we have these power lines in the way. We don't want these big trees here anyway. But this will still provide a nice barrier for the field. So we can go ahead and kind of add some variety here. Plop down some of these. And that is not looking too bad, if I say so myself. So now let's go ahead and finish up with the getting our trees down. We'll add some bushes in here as well along this side. And I will leave a field entrance as well. So I'm probably going to put it like right after this telephone pole. So we'll do something like right there and leave a nice little gap. And then we'll probably drag out like a road or a surface tool. We'll use a surface tool to drag out a little dirt path so that tractors can access this field. And so what I'm imagining is, you know, if a lot of farms have grass fields on them. So this we'll fill in this with the grass surface tool, and then we'll have a nice little grass field as well. Same thing with this spot here. We'll have a nice little grass field here as well. And so speaking of which, let's go ahead and actually take advantage. You know what? Let's fill in these fields first before we actually go ahead and use the surface tool. And by filling these fields, I mean border them with trees. And this really doesn't take that long. You know, as you can see, we've only been live here for, well, 20 minutes, but a lot of that has been spent planning and chatting and not a lot of building. So taking down these, or just plopping down these trees actually isn't that terrible of a thing to do when you really just kind of dedicate time to it. It's one of these things that a little bit daunting. You're like, oh man, do you really want to sit and just plop down trees? But I'm telling you, if you spend the, 10 or 15 minutes that it realistically takes to do this, you're gonna be grateful in the end that you did, because it makes a difference in your in the realism of your farmland. Having little stuff like this. And I know not every, farmland has like borders like this on their fields, but where I'm from, it makes a lot of sense. And I'm actually just going straight over the area that I said I would put my power line. So let me go ahead and get these squared away real quick before I forget. I'll probably just do something like that. Then we'll just maybe cross over here. Yeah, we'll just do a 90 with the road. Cross over there at a little bit of an angle. It's a little goofy, but it'll work. It'll be okay. That's fine. Yeah, whatever. All right. There we go. It's looking good. I got the bushes plopped down. Didn't even notice. It's already starting to snow. Very random, but I'll take it. Winter in Grand Keys, it appears. That's fine by me. All right, let's go ahead and plop down some more. This will be the last Almost the last field. I promise we'll be through with this very, very soon. And then we will move on to our forestry industry, which I am excited to build. That is something that I don't build a lot of, and I was trying something out in a off-camera save game, and it was really, really fun to do. I was happy with the result, and it might not be. I don't really have a lot of forestry industry by me. You know, I grew up and currently live in the Midwest, so we have a lot more corn than we do trees, to say the least. So forestry is not something that I'm familiar with, but you know, from what I've seen, there's kind of there can be, you know, forestry industry in the sense of like deforestation and just cutting down certain parts of forests and stuff that you see in like the Pacific Northwest and everything, just kind of up in the mountains. It looks a little more random, but then there's also parts of forestry industry that are a little bit more planned out, and you know, they almost build these sustainable like tree farms in a way, and they look more like, you know, what you would find in like, you know, everything's like planted in rows and it's very methodically placed. So that's kind of what I'm going for here, something more like that. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute when we get to that, but it's a little bit different than what you would usually expect to see in maybe like a regular forestry industry or something like that. So just bear with me. Can we fit some trees in here? Perfect. Yeah, we can kind of squeeze a few in here. This will be more bushes than trees probably, by the looks of things. I'll put a big oak tree right there if I could fit it, which I cannot. So I'll just do a few of these. All right, let's go ahead and throw down some of these bushes here, and then we'll be pretty much wrapped up with this little field here. And when we do like our big detailing episode here, we'll also come back and kind of detail up this highway as well, because that's going to be something that we're going to want to focus on. But all right, that is looking a-okay if I say so myself. So now let's go ahead and, of course it's winter, and so you can't actually see the grass. I think you can still see the surfaces though, which is weird. Yeah, see, look, like you can still see the grass surface even though it's winter, which is a bit annoying, I'll admit. And I think like, yeah, even here you can see all the surfaces that we plopped down. You can still see them. Kind of whack, not gonna lie, but it's fine. So let me start by plopping down a little grass area here. So we'll just kind of drag this out. And thankfully, the trees are going to do a good job, you know, like from a distance of kind of hiding the contrast. Except here, I'm going to do like a little bit of a opening for the field entrance there. And that will complete that area. And of course, it looks horrible in the wintertime. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely horrendous. But you know what? We are going to live with it because it is City Skylines 2. That is how it is. So now let's just go ahead and plop down a little entryway here for our tractors. Little field entrance there. It's a little bit big. Let's actually make that a little bit smaller. Move this over here or something, kind of. We'll probably extend this out like so. Put that like there. There we go. I like that a little bit better. And throw another couple of bushes here. All right, that should work. And then we'll do the same thing over here with this surface. We'll add in another little grass field across the way here. Again, here's a little field entrance spot for us. Kind of like that. this out. There we go. Again, just using our surface tool. And add that in there. Yeah, see, like when you zoom out, you can see how the trees are going to make that nice border for us, where it's kind of going to hide some of the imperfection here. And then for this one, I actually think I'm going to do like a, so we'll do like a cultivated field. So use the other sand texture or a dirt texture. Do something like that. And then again, we will add our little field entrance here. Oh, wait, whoops. Don't know what I just did there, but it's not what I wanted to do. There we go. All right, and then I'll actually add a little pathway in here as well, that there's not only one coming in off of the highway there. You know, it would be nice to be able to access this field from within the farm. So there we go. That is looking fine. And I actually realized that I forgot to put some stuff around here. Do a little big tree there. Just a couple of small ones closer to the field like that. Looking good. And then for this, just plop down a couple trees here actually. Just a little bit of a little pocket of trees. Like adding these in. There we go. It's looking very nice, even though it's snowing and it looks terrible, but we'll live with it. So now let's put down this last little farm field here, little makeshift one. For this one, again, we're going to use the grass surface tool. Create a little spot for our entryway there. We'll come around here kind of at a little bit of an angle. And then this one is where we're going to kind of follow that natural landscape. We got this little pocket of trees here, just something a little bit different. Give us some variety. And there we go. That is looking good enough, in my opinion. That doesn't look right. Go like that. Go. As you can see here, you know, we got these nice farm fields surrounded by little tree borders, and I think that is looking pretty good from a distance. I'm telling you, once we get into the summer and stuff, this is gonna look really quite nice. And I do realize, I think I forgot to put down the other type of trees along this spot. It's looking a little bit bare, so we'll go ahead and do that for now. Perfect. All right. Pardon me while I save the game real quick. Always got to do that once in a while in case, you never know. I've been getting way less crashes lately, but I have not been getting zero. So, trying to bear that in mind. But all right. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's build some forestry industry. So for forestry industry, I want to kind of cut into these into this mountain here a little bit, but we're not going to go too far up the hill. I might have some small like mountain pathways and kind of clear out like an area up in here where, you know, I figure that like they may be doing some work. But for the most part, we're going to do something a little bit more planned. I might even have like a couple of plots down here kind of close to the farmland that are going to be a little bit more rigid, a little bit more planned out. You know, we're going to have some trees that some things that look like they were meant to be there. So we're going to start actually by dragging out a little area for some actual industry. And I like to think that we'll zone this out with some industry, and it'll be kind of like a forestry processing facility, so to speak. So even though we may not get all forestry buildings, it'll give the sense that this is kind of like the start of the complex, you know. So from here, we'll drag out some of these dirt roads. And again, we'll do something kind of planned out, I think, here. What am I overlapping with? A power line? What am I doing? What's going on here? Can I not do like I guess not. Maybe if I move these power lines. Ah, yes, of course. Of course it's the power lines. Always. All right, we'll do something like that, and then we'll drag back this power line here. Reconnect this. Yeah, good enough. We'll fix it later, or maybe we won't. Who knows? Whatever. Okay, so we'll do something kind of like that, and then we'll come around here. We'll kind of loop this up here at the end, like so. This will be part of our sustainable forestry industry that will drag out some trees to make this really planned out. But then we'll kind of go up into the hills a bit more, where it will be a little bit more random. So we'll kind of come straight through here like this. Then how about we do something like this? Let's say, again, we can't be going too crazy because these are some really, really steep hills, so I don't want to be going like insane and just deleting a bunch of trees. Well, let's just say that we do something kind of like that. So we'll kind of make like a bare area here, maybe where they've cut down some trees. Just something like that. And then we'll come kind of through. We come like through here. We'll follow this mountain around like that. Then again, maybe we'll have a little dead end there. Then we can connect up. Let's see if we go like this. Something like that. And again, we'll have, so let's start by making some bare spots where they've cut down some trees, presumably. So we'll do one like there. And then, like I said, we'll do one maybe, well, like right here. It's kind of like right there. Yeah, that'll be kind of cool. And then we'll kind of bolster the amount of trees in some of these other areas. We'll add in a few more spruces, some pines here, just to make this really dense. I like the way that some of this looks when there's this very stark contrast. Welcome everybody to the stream. If you're just joining, we're just getting started here. Oh, we are. Dang, we're almost an hour in already. Did not realize that we've been going for that long. Time flies when you're having fun. This is one of those builds that, you know, I just wanted to live stream this because it takes a little bit of time, and it's not the most riveting for a standalone episode. So I figured this would be a perfect way to kind of, you know, get this done while still getting it on camera, but, you know, without too much, without like, I just didn't think it'd make the greatest episode. But for live stream, this is a nice, you know, relaxing way to sit back and kind of relax and just enjoy playing the game a little bit. So that's what we're doing today. And I am loving it so far. So yeah, so there's like one area you can see has been cleared out. We'll do like another one kind of over here. And if you go on, I spent some time like on Google Earth, you know, if you really look around, like there are things like this, especially in like the Pacific Northwest and stuff, you know, there's tons of spots that are just cleared out already by a forestry industry and stuff like that. And so I like to add those in here. I think it helps kind of keep a little sense of realism in some of these areas. So I like it a lot. But now we will go ahead and add in a couple of our specialized zones here. We'll do like one, let's see. I kind of like to put them off the beaten path a little bit. So we'll do this one. And actually, the one thing about forestry industry though, I will say, it does not have a lot of employees. So these typically only have about, we're gonna do this again here. I want to get a little bit closer to the road. These only have about like 3 to 10 employees per like zone. So that's why I kind of like to actually plop these down in addition to some regular industry. This helps create a little bit more of an area for jobs, you know, rather than just having this one little spot. But you can see there, we got that down, and now let's go ahead and I don't really want to do anything on this side of the cliff, so I think we're gonna do, you know, we'll do a little bit. We'll do a little one. We'll do one like here. Kind of come around like this. And yeah, let's kind of come like through this valley here, I think, and kind of sneak around. We'll just go to like, go to like here. Super random. Let me know, of course, if the audio is good or bad. Hopefully you can hear the music a little bit. I know it's probably pretty quiet, but I kind of intend to keep it that way. I don't like, you know, music blasting while I'm trying to play. I want you guys to be able to hear what I'm talking about. But yeah, here we'll just kind of bring this one sort of into this valley. We'll kind of try to follow this mountain. This is annoying. I can't turn on the oh my, that's quite a drop there, isn't it? Maybe. I don't know. I can't tell. Whatever. I'm trying to, you know, you can't really turn on the topography lines here, so it's a little bit frustrating. That's all right. We'll live. This might actually be another area where I might add in some of this. You'll see some of this more sustainable forestry industry. And yeah, actually this spot might be a perfect spot for it too. So we're gonna do, okay. All right, I know what we're gonna do now. So we got those down. So now let's go ahead and build out the sustainable portion of this. And so for that, I'm gonna use the help of the newly implemented, I say newly, it's been like months. I just, you know, I feel like haven't been playing this game that long since then, but relatively newly implemented prop line tool in the vanilla game, which is great. There are no mods in this build, just so you guys know. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and just delete like these trees. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. Just trust me. Just hear me out. It's gonna look cool. There we go. And I could, and I might add some additional farmland kind of on this side and just have some randomly shaped fields that kind of hug the cliff side. But I don't want to go too far in. Actually, I may just leave it like that for now. But anyway. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do something interesting. We're going to take our spruce trees. We're going to give ourselves the young, we'll start with the young ones, and then we'll go each to the mature and the elderly as well. To kind of keep this going over the years. The reason being that in this game, trees do die. So it is good to, you know, make sure that we keep the right amount of trees. So we're going to put these pretty close together. We're going to do like 8 meters. That's looking good. We're going to drag this out. Sort of like a tree vineyard. And if you absolutely hate this, let me know in the chat. But I have seen, I was looking around like kind of the Pacific Northwest, and I'd seen where there are like tree farms like this, you know? It's where they will grow specific kind of trees that are native to those environments. Or I guess more native, you know, to those environments, and then they'll grow them for like landscapers and stuff. So then they ship them to the rest of the country. So that would be the purpose of like some kind of tree farm like this, you know what I mean? All right, there we go. There's one down. Then we'll do like we'll do what? Elderly one over here. Actually, you know what? We'll just do a different kind of tree. We'll do like these. Yeah, that's good. Just doing this kind of quickly. I know these lines might not be the most perfect in the world, but you know what? We're gonna deal with it. I don't know why I put this road here. Maybe I'll put one more forestry industry at the end of the edge of this, because I do need to get a harvest spot here. The edge of this section. Actually, yeah, that might be good for now. And then I need to drag this out just a smidge. I'll do that. Yeah, it's going to be actually a little bit steep. So actually, why don't we do this here? Let's back to our industrial zones. We'll plop this right, and then we'll actually turn on snapping for this. We'll do something like that. We're just going to go around and around. Look at this whole thing. Not like that. There we go. And now I can't do it. Oh, of course, I should have thought of that. Well, you know what we're going to do then? Do this. Something like that. Fine. It's fine. I'll live with that. Okay, let's do one more of these. We're going to do it right here. And maybe I'll actually split this one into 2, since we have a little bit more. We'll do a young section, maybe like right over here. Actually, that's probably where the what do you call it's going to go? Actual little specialized zone. And let's do something like, we'll have it kind of pop down at an angle. And again, the reason that I'm doing this is to make something that's going to kind of regrow at different times, you know, so it's going to be able to be sustainable for us. And it looks, you know, relatively okay in the area, I think. So we'll plant these going like at an angle that way. I want that. Something different. And I might even throw a little bit of a different kind of tree kind of back there in the middle. Oh, you kidding me? Come on, man. There we go. Yeah, I hope you guys all had a good weekend so far. I know I taught my friend from work how to drive stick shift today. So that was exciting. My car is not broken. So hopefully that means I am a good teacher. Or he's just good at learning. Who knows? But yeah, I was very happy to do that. He's going on a trip overseas. And he said him and his friends are renting an RV. So they're going to a lot of them are manual and nobody knows how to drive. And I offered him before I offered to ever, you know, I said, hey man, if you ever need to learn how to drive stick for any reason, you know, feel free to let me know and I'd be happy to teach you. Sure enough, he was like, hey, I actually might take you up on that offer. And I said, all right then, let's make it happen. So that's what we did this afternoon. It was very fun. All right. Yeah, feel free to throw anything in the chat as well. I'm always happy to chat and build. Even though it seems like I'm razor focused on this. Planting these trees in the right spot. Which, you know, not. But yeah, there we go. This is like kind of what I'm going for here. And it looks way better. Oh, I forgot to put down the actual depots or whatever you want to call them. To harvest the resources. So let's do this one. We'll do this one like here. How about that? Do one there. We'll do this one. We'll do it like right here, kind of next to this other one. We'll just drag it alongside. You know, I think I forgot to set my music to repeat. So just let me pause this real quick. Give me 1 second. It'll pop out here and get some music going here for you guys. My apologies. What's a good one here? How about this? I haven't listened to this one yet. Music is courtesy of Master Plan Music. Beautiful. Okay. Great. Yeah, I love Master Plan Music. It's so fun to have free music to use in your videos that actually sounds relatively decent in my opinion. So I'm always happy to use it. But all right, there we go. That is looking perfect for now. And you can see we have no power and no water, which is exactly what I was afraid of here. Are those connected? No, they're not. Now they are. And we'll add some power in here too. So for power, let's go. I'm a little bit nervous about how this goes. Oh, we can just drag this in like right here. Do something like that for now. And that should flow all the way through. Yep, it does. Okay, great. So let's go ahead now and zone out some regular industry. The reason that I like to do this is because it just makes sense. It sort of gives like a little central area to kind of, you know, throw some of these things. Not to mention it just looks good. And it creates more jobs, like I said. That's the main reason. All right, there we go. That's exactly the way that I want it. That is nice. That is nice. Perfect. Okay. So now, you know, we got some time. We've only been going for about an hour. So I think we should build a little bit of a cargo train station. What do you say about that? I think that is a great idea. But actually, you know what? Before we do that, I want to build something that's going to be not functional, but aesthetically realistic. So we'll have a cargo station here, but there has to be some sort of, I think it would make sense to have some sort of rail access to this forestry industry. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build like sort of a makeshift, kind of like a rail yard, but not really. See what I mean here in a second. But we'll do something like this. Just zone out. We'll just drag out like a, oh, that, nope, don't want that. There we go. Do a small one. Do something like this. We'll zone out like some more industrial buildings. It's kind of like so. We'll just drag out a few train tracks. And I do wish that these had like a gravel texture on them instead of like this concrete. It would look a little bit better if I'm being honest. That's okay. We could live with that. So there we go. And the reason that I wanted to place that down is because it just looks, you know, you figure you'd have a lot of it would make sense to have some rail access to this area. You know, if we have some log yards sitting here, we can throw them on a train, you know, take them to like a sawmill or something a little bit easier. It just makes sense. And I will say, if we ever get a small cargo station in vanilla, we'll come back to this area and we will adjust accordingly. We'll add that in there because that is one asset that I have been waiting for pretty much forever. And we don't have it yet, and it's making me very upset. So hopefully we get something like that soon. Change the size of those there. All right, let's do something like that. I'll throw in some little pockets of bushes here. Makes sense to have some of these in your rail yards. Oh, is it springtime? Nice. Very exciting. All right, since this is in the forestry industry here, we're gonna throw some trees down over here by this rail yard. Just makes sense. I know we got these power lines running kind of close here, so I'm trying not to get too close with these. We will delete a couple of those because they're a little bit big, a little bit random. We'll keep some of them, I think. All right. So we'll let that just kind of stay the way it is. Beautiful. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Ah, it does make a bit of a... You know what? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Never mind. I was going to say it does make a bit of a difference to the texture, but it doesn't. All right. That's looking a-okay with me. I'm happy with that. And we can, you know what we can do, though, is we can make, like, a little bit of a... kind of another area over here, like a little surface area. Let's kind of throw something down like this here. Real simple. Throw in some bushes, a couple of trees. Of course, I'm always picking the spots that I can't put them. And there we go. That's a wrap. See, now you can kind of see my vision here, right? When you zoom out, you have these little areas that are kind of already cut down. We have some cutting down in progress here and here. And even though I wasn't able to see the terrain lines, I'm actually quite happy with the way that turned out. I'm quite happy with that. And so, yeah, and then over here we have, you know, another one. Looks like this kind of dips down to this valley here, but that's okay. And then we have our processing, which is stone, wood. Oh, we have some timber. That's awesome. And grain. And timber. Cool. Okay, so we do have some specialized industry over here that's going with the area. I'm really, really happy with that. And yeah, now you can see the farmland. The crops are growing. And again, it looks... that looks nice to me. I like that a lot. Yeah, I'm actually really liking that. It looks way better than just like plopping them down like this. You know, I'm definitely going to come through and keep that in mind with when I rebuild this valley and bring some agriculture into this area. I'm definitely going to do something like this and make sure we're, you know, we have some unique fields and everything like that to just keep things interesting and give it some variety, because not all crops are created equal. So now that we have that done, we do need to think about, I won't do this episode because that's going to be a project in and of itself, but we do need to think about an additional waste management facility. And I don't know where to put it. I kind of am thinking of putting it like, I don't know, maybe I can fit it like somewhere over here. Actually, that's not a bad, I just think it'll be too big. The recycling center is huge. I could do a Japanese, oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to put a Japanese recycling center somewhere like over here by the train station, if I can fit it. Otherwise, I think over here would be a good idea. Because yeah, the pollution is going out of the city. I am curious though, we have 39 development points. Let me see this. Okay. We have 39 development points, so I'm just gonna go ahead and buy that incineration plant. And that, oh, that is big. That is bigger than I thought. Wow, okay, that's cool. With that being said, we'll put that down. We'll save that for like maybe another city. I'm envisioning maybe doing one like over here or over here, or I say or, I mean and over here. Definitely one over here. This will be another probably pretty big one actually. There's some pretty good land over here that we could work with. And then I wanted to do one more like over here somewhere, and this was going to be just like this whole region will be getting filled in with something at some point. I'm sure it would be really cool to build some additional cities in this map. So we'll get there one day. I promise. But yeah, you can see we have a lot of dead people. We have a death wave going on, it looks like. Crematorium is maxed out. Many hearses are out and about right now. I cannot place an additional hearse garage because I did not plan for that. So oops. But oh well, I guess. Yeah, garbage is piling up everywhere. We have not enough garbage trucks. City services are suffering, guys. We're making tons of money. Yeah, we're making a stupid amount of money. So it only makes sense that we have a city service episode in the near future. But for now, we're just gonna keep on building this because this is fun. I'm gonna save it one more time because I'm really happy with how this forestry industry turned out. So give me 1 second. All right, and there we go. We're back. 55,000 people too, guys. That's crazy. I've never had a city this big in a City Skylines 2, at least. But all right, let's do cargo train station. This may take, I planned 2 hours for this stream, and this may take us to 2 hours because we're going to detail it up a little bit too, I think. Kind of work around it. You know what I was curious about though? Can you have... Oh, you can do elevated stations in this game. Okay. I never actually used the metro yet. So I'm thinking about like future cities and stuff. If the metro is going to be something. For some reason, I only thought it was like underground and ground level. But we can do elevated metro. Which I don't know why I would think the opposite. Because that's like totally just something that always exists. But yeah, so this is like the perfect spot for this. I mean, except I have to turn it around. That's what's annoying about this asset is that the entrance is like only on this side. So if I want to bring traffic in here, I got to make sure that I bring a road like to loop around. So I'll probably build the road first and then we'll build the actual asset. And I want to make sure that I have enough room so that these trains are not taking too sharp of a turn. So I'm going to put it as close to this mountain as I can get it without actually having to like level out any of the mountain. So we're just going to do like a little bit of work here, just kind of bring some of these you know, very small slopes. We're going to kind of level some of these out here. I think that's looking fantastic. Yeah, again, we're not going to do any major terrain work here because that's just super unrealistic. But yeah, the closer we can get, better. So now we'll clear out these trees. This is something that you would definitely clear out some trees for. And I'm going to fill in kind of the rest of this with either industry zones or a recycling center. Oh man, here's some fire trucks outside right now. Good old Chicago. Did you guys know I actually really want to be a firefighter one day? We're gonna make that happen. Whether it's a volunteer or I don't know. I don't really want to do a career pivot because that'd be a huge pay cut compared to what I'm doing now. But I think ideally I would like to move to a area with a little bit of land, you know, and I would like to actually join a volunteer fire department. So one day, hopefully, we will get there. Okay, let's be smart about this. So I'm going to drag out just like some planning roads here. Because again, I want to get as close to this mountain as I can without actually going over. And I think we're gonna line this up with this road, I think. This little intersection here. We'll kind of come through here like this. Actually, no. We're gonna do this. How about we use this complex curve tool? This thing is actually quite cool. If you use it the right way. Not quite. Let's do something like that. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. Beautiful. We'll delete that for now. We'll come in and redo that. All right. So now that we have that out of the way, let's put down the actual asset. So I think I'm going to do it like this. Man, I really want to go like... I wanted to go up to there if I can. That's going to give us a better... Yeah, okay, so let me delete these. And if we do have to cut in just a little bit for that road, I'm not going to hate that. I'll live with that. All right, come on. There we go. Oh, I see what I gotta do. Well, shouldn't have done that. Yeah, let's see if I can do like, that's gotta be enough. That's gotta be enough of a, I really want to put it like up to there though. Oh, that's so frustrating. I don't want to have to cut out like part of that roadway. All right, let's see if we can get away with this. This is going to be a really expensive mistake if I can't do this. Oh, this is going to suck. There's like not going to be anywhere for these trains to queue. Hello, hello. Thank you very much. It is a small city. This one is a small city. We do have 55,000 people in the region though. And this one over here, we are going to get a lot done probably within the next couple of episodes. I'm going to do one with like city services, and then I'm going to do another one where we build out this waterfront and zone in some more buildings. This is going to be like the big skyline area, and we're going to have some offices over here and probably some higher density developments going on the waterfront. So that'll really make this part look way more complete, and we're going to upgrade the zoning here as well. This might be something that we could tackle even if we get this train station done, but we'll see. I just want to upgrade this to like medium, so we'll see. If it, no, 50K, no, it's respectable. It is respectable, I will say. I'm impressed. But yeah, there's still a lot of work to be done. As you can see, we're just kind of chipping away at some of the major, in this episode, just getting some industry out of the way, kind of chipping away at some major projects that just take some time. And I thought wouldn't be the worst to do in a live stream like this farmland here, this forestry industry that we built. No, yeah, well, as it's declining because we're just having like a death wave right now. But yeah, it is. Thankfully, we do have this, you know, the big city over there. But yeah, for the region, it's not bad. I think the region's going to be, population is going to be pretty substantial once we get some more cities built. I do have the intention to kind of build out, you know, multiple cities in the region. Like I was just saying a minute ago, there's a lot of things that we could be doing here. So, all right, let's drag this out. And I think what I might do is I might like loop, like try to loop this into here. We'll have like a third track. Maybe like try to bypass it. This is gonna be a little goofy. We're just gonna try something. All right. Because I do want to make sure that we have enough space for trains to queue. Otherwise, we're going to get issues with trains not being able to access the cargo station. Ah, so we can't do that. What? Come on, there's not even a slope there. Get out of here. This is goofy. Stupid. Is there a slope there? No. Come on. Whatever. This is where you need like anarchy. Fine. It's okay. Manage. Yeah, maybe this could be like a little siding, you know, where some trains could pull off to the side. Not sure how realistic this is at all. I'm not a rail person. I just realized that I forgot to line up these tracks, so I'm trying to do something goofy, I guess. But okay, let's see if this is going to be... It's going to let me do it. Oh, yes. Sweet. Oh, 90 there. Oh, 90 there. This is going to be horrible. I could already tell. This is going to be absolutely horrendous. We're going to have trains backed up for days, and it's just going to be bad. And I'm sorry. But we're going to do it anyway. And I guess, you know what? At the end of the day, this is not even functional. So this is just aesthetics. Yeah, I'm loving these like dense forests. We might be, when we expand. Sorry, guys. We're back. We are back. Had a little bit of a internet glitch there. My apologies. It happens. It happens. My internet is good, but not great. It's good, but it sometimes disconnects randomly, as you just saw. So again, my bad. But yeah, okay. So with that being said, let's keep on keeping on here, and we're gonna do some detail work kind of around this cargo station. Okay, so first things first, we have space to add stuff, which is awesome. I can add a storage warehouse, which I don't need because this cargo station is not that big. I have extra tracks that I don't need because this isn't that big. But what I am going to do is I'm going to make a line so we can actually start seeing some trains come through here. And I actually think we only have 2 passenger trains right now in the region. So we're going to add a cargo route. Start there, and we will go to, where are we going to go here? Where are we going? We going all the way to, ha! Oh, I guess I can go this way. Man, this is something. Okay, this is a thought. I don't really have a dedicated freight line anywhere. So I guess for now we can go to this town out to the west of us, to Mountain Lakes. But the problem is we gotta go. That means we gotta bring freight trains straight through this city, which actually is not. That is not ideal. That is not ideal. What I would like to do eventually is find a way to like bring a freight line like through this valley and just wrap it around here and hook up this way. That way we could bypass this city. But I remember what I wanted to do at some point is I thought about doing a port here, which is why I kind of brought the train line out this way. So maybe in the future, if I do decide to put a port here, which would require a lot of terrain work, it'd be really goofy. I'm not quite sure if we're going to do that. If we did, it'd be a major map rework. I'd probably just like delete this mountain and just say, you know, hey, it was always like this, even though it wasn't. But if I do decide to do that, then we will need rail access here. But it's, again, it wouldn't go through the city. So for now, I guess what we'll do, and let me do this before I forget. I almost want to make a track that wraps around like this way. Otherwise, there will be no way to get any cargo trains from this cargo station to whatever we put out over here. I imagine that we're going to wrap this around like through here if we have like other cities in the region. You know, if we have like another one like out over here, we will have rail access there because rail is typically, you know, first as opposed to any kind of transportation network. So yeah, what we'll do here is we'll drag out something kind of like, do something kind of like this for now. I know we got a lot of tracks going on here, but we're gonna live with it. We're gonna live with it. Oh, that's disgusting. Nope. Why is that like that? That looks horrible. I kind of don't want to go like messing with all this crap right now because I know it's gonna break something. But like, why is that like that? Like a random slope here that's just causing some issues. Yeah, there is. That's gross. Let's oh, you know what? No, it's not gonna let me. Okay. Pause this. Because I feel like I'm gonna break something here. We're gonna try to do this the right way. Okay. Let's go straight here. Alright, so far so good. Now this is where, like, I don't even get that in there. It's kind of weird, being honest. I don't seem to go, like, this way and then, like, bring it in. No, that looks even worse. Oh, I know what I did. My bad. I remember now. I didn't cross this until I got to, like... I would like to do it before the intersection, though. Yeah, let's leave it like that for now. That might be a little bit better. All right. Now, you can go something like this. I just don't want, like, everything, like, connecting up all at once. So it's going to be like a nightmare for any, like, train conductor. So let's go like this. Try this. Last thing we'll try. And then I'm just going to do it. I know this is probably temporary anyway, but I don't know why I'm spending so much time trying to do this. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, that looks bad. Why does it look like that? Why? Why are you doing this to me? Okay, let's try this one more time. There we go. All right, that's better. Okay. Okay. All right, back to the cargo train station. Let's make a cargo line now. So we're gonna do one, we'll start there, and we'll go all the way to Mountain Lake, which is the only place we can go to. And then we'll come back to here. Go anywhere. Cool. Got a little achievement there. So now this, I'm going to need to, we'll say Mountain Lake. And I think this is going to be Groovesville, but we'll change that if we need to. And I think the number of trains, I want to bring this down. I want to make sure this is like, I want like 1. We do not need a lot of trains on this route. We'll make it do I like orange for the freight trains. That's kind of more brown, so something like that. Yeah, that's cool. All right, got that done. Where's my freight train? Game's paused. That's why it's not spawning. All right. I gotta admit, I didn't play this game for a little bit because I was just really busy, and it's really fun to be back in this game. And just building this little city here, it was fun. Like, I know it doesn't look the greatest because, like I said, we're gonna detail it up more. But it looks, you know, from a distance, like it looks complete. You know, it's got a nice little skyline to it. Kind of reminds me of like some of those small Midwestern cities, you know. I like it a lot. And actually, you know what? We're going to change the color of this train line because that's a horrible color. I don't like that at all. Ugh. Make it red. You know, red's my favorite color. Much better. I like that. Okay. All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's man, I wish I could have like a retaining wall here. That would be really good. This looks kind of horrible. Do a little bit of tree work here. Trees don't grow on mountains this steep. Ah, they kind of do, I guess. Like, man, that's steep, man. Imagine like you come to work and you're just like, oh, you know, hey, what's going on there? I will say that the landscaping in this map is not my favorite. It's a little bit tree heavy in a random, like a very random way. That I don't think like the peaks up here would have like this many trees. They kind of would sit more in the valleys. So maybe one day, way later on, like when we're done with the series, I'll take like a day, couple hours, and just go through and just like redo all of the trees in the tiles that we've unlocked or something. Just make this map look really, really good. But that's something that I just don't care enough about right now, so I'm just not going to do it. Because to me, that is a very unexciting way to spend my time. But okay. Do we have room for a recycling center? No, we do not. Not here, at least. Here, though, we definitely do. Except, I know we can't expand that one, but it's okay. But anyway, let's add in. Oh, we do have roads here, so yeah, it will help to have this road access. I think that'll be good. We'll actually urbanize this street. We'll make it a full-on road, so we can connect up to this full-on road there, and then we'll have like a little alleyway maybe over here. And I just realized there's like no parking for this facility, which is criminal because you would assume that a facility like this probably has a lot of workers. I mean, let's see how many employees we have. 32. Well, I guess if they're working in shifts, yeah, I guess that's really not all that bad. I mean, at the end of the day, I'll throw a lot over here. I'll still throw a lot over here, like a parking lot. Not a lot of parking, but a parking lot. We'll throw in like these ones with the big lights. Yeah, the medium one. Throw in one of those. 60 vehicles. Yeah, that'll be perfect for this area. Actually, you know what? I am going to bring that to the... How much is it going to cost us? $3 grand to just move that over a tile. This is why you think before you put stuff down. Yeah, I kind of want to eliminate a lot of like four-way intersections here. So we'll just add like this little spot there. And then we'll add in... yeah, we'll connect that up. Why not? I'm liking this, whatever tune's playing right now. This is a nice little song here. I like this. So we can add some offices here, which I think we're going to do. I'm going to leave that as is because I don't want to put down like a whole big thing there. What I will do though is we will fill this in with some trees to make this area look a little bit better, a little bit more refined, as they say. Yeah, what are I'm curious, what are your guys' thoughts on City Skylines 2 now that the game's been out for like a little over a year, which is crazy to believe. It came out in October of, what was it, October of 2023? Yeah, what do you guys think of the game? Do you like it yet? Do you still hate it? I mean, personally, I quite enjoy it. I think it's fun in vanilla, particularly because you don't have to deal with as many crashes. I was dealing with a lot of crashes for a while, but now it's a little bit more stable. Actually, a lot more stable. I do have one every once in a while, but it's like nothing that like even close to what it used to be. So I'm happy. I'm happy with the way it is right now. But I am considering doing a like a lightly modded build in the near future, like starting something different, you know, starting something new. And I'm curious to almost do like, I've never really tried to build like a European city. And so I'm tempted to maybe try something like that. Like a European city would be cool. I don't know what you guys think of that, if you think I should or shouldn't do that. But something like that to me sounds really fun. And I'm trying to consider if I should go. I know I started my my Japanese like live stream city, but that one, you know, we'll keep chipping away at. But that's just, you know, that'll be for a different time. But yeah, I think it would be fun to do a new series and maybe add, you know, a small amount of mods, like some quality of life stuff, like, you know, like the move its and you know, plop the growables, even though I probably wouldn't use plop the growables a ton, but maybe, you know, if there's I think there's like a zoning toggle mod, stuff like that, that would just make life a little bit easier. I would really like to maybe be able to try some stuff like that. But again, you know, you never know. We shall see. I guess my point is, I like the game now a lot more than I did, you know, even 3 to 6 months ago. I think once I hit like episode 10 of this series, maybe I forget what I did in that episode, but that might have been kind of the turning point for me. Especially, actually, I'll take that back. After this newest patch came out, that was where it started to get fun, because that's where it started to get very stable. And all before that, I was fighting so many crashes. I was just getting really frustrated because I would build something really cool and then it would go away, just be gone, and have to rebuild it, and that is really annoying. But now we're usually pretty good. I haven't had to really do that in a while, like maybe little things here and there. I know, like in the last episode when I was building a highway interchanges, I was doing some goofy stuff that I just think that the game just didn't like, so I was getting some crashes there. But that was, and by some I mean one, I think I got. So like if that's, you know, all that I'm getting now, I'll take it. I remember I plopped down like a weird road connection and it just like freaked out on me, but could be worse is my point. You know what I mean? Could be way worse. But yeah, okay. So I think here in this little spot, I kind of don't know what to put here. I don't really want to cram any industry buildings into here. I think I'm not going to. If I had like custom assets or like find it, I would make like a little truck yard. You know what? What if I kind of did something like that? I know I can't actually put anything in here, but if I just did something like, you know what? Nah, because then it's just gonna look like a big empty parking lot, and I don't really want to do that. More trees. That's what we're doing. Never go wrong with some trees. Am I right? Oh, you know what I need? I almost forgot. You guys didn't remind me. I need some kind of substation. Actually, do I? No. Not really, because we have this power plant right here. I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, we don't need anything like that. What we do need though, where is? Actually, you know what? We kind of do. We don't really have, like, this power line ain't going anywhere, and we have all this high voltage is going this way. Basically, this is like not even connected, and then it's all coming through like this avenue. So yeah, you know, we kind of do need a substation here, actually. You know where we could put it? Right here. Yep, that is a good spot. Do that. Build one of these. I think this makes a lot of sense. I don't know why I didn't do this before. Right by the rail yard. That makes a ton of sense. And this will give a nice little low voltage connection to this whole area. I might even build another one like over here or something somehow, kind of sneak one in here. But yeah, that's fine for now. There is one thing that I wanted to do before we kind of wrap things up, because it is almost 9 o'clock my time. It's kind of when I decided to when I kind of had planned to get things kind of wrapped up. So we'll just do a few more things here, and then we'll get this kind of, as I was saying for the third time, wrapped up. But anyway, yeah, I want to watch I was watching Smokey and the Bandit. Not sure if you guys have ever seen that movie, or if you're familiar with it. It's an old movie from like the 90s with Burt Reynolds. And as you probably know, or if you're new to the channel, you may not know, I love trucks, and I do a lot of American Truck Simulator. Well, recently, some American Truck Simulator live streams as well. So I'll be doing one actually tomorrow. I plan to do one tomorrow night because I have a random kind of 2 free days here that I want to do some live streams with. I'm pretty far ahead on my farming simulator content, and I couldn't record any new City Skylines content until I've done this. So until I did this build or this live stream. So I was kind of waiting a little bit, and so I'll record, you know, another episode like this week, and there will be something hopefully for you guys on a Tuesday in terms of like a new City Skylines video. But I will say that it is Memorial Day weekend this week, or next weekend. So excuse me if I don't have the chance to end up recording and editing a video. I'll try my best. I really will. But you know, no promises. So we'll see. But anyway, my point is, I want to finish Smoking the Bandit. I was watching that today, and it's a movie about a truck where they're trying to bootleg a whole trailer load of Coors Light into Texas, which was like illegal at the time or something, like to go across state lines. So it's just a goofy, like good old Hollywood action movie, like with fast cars and jumps and a truck driving really fast. So all right, so cargo train station is done for now. I'm actually happy with that. I think we added in some parking. We have some surrounding industry and office zones. We have some fill in these areas nicely with some trees. I'm happy with that. I like it. So I think what we're gonna do now is fill in. Where did I want to work? I wanted to do this right here, this spot. I wanted to add in something here. Like, this is just wasted space to me at this point, and I think we can really do something with this space. So I think what that something is going to be is some additional homes. We have a huge demand for residential right now, and this will be the last thing that we do probably before we wrap up the stream here. But what I think we could do is add in some, like, a little bit of even a commercial district here, like some shops, and then maybe even, I know this is kind of out in the in a little bit more of a rural area, but it wouldn't hurt to have like a like we could build like a gas station here, and maybe, like I said, like some shops, and then just have some low density, or even a few, maybe even a few row homes over here. That wouldn't be the worst thing, because we have this random like commercial zone here. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this or not. I might very well get rid of this. It's kind of goofy. So we'll see about that. But yeah, the reason that this would be a good spot for some commercial is because it's right off of the interstate. So you usually see things like, you know, little restaurants, like a McDonald's or something, and then like a gas station. You know, we'll have that right here, and then I think that'll be really, really good to bring some people, you know, in this area. Even though, again, it is a little small suburban area, which fine by me. Makes sense that we have a little development going on over here. So let's do that. We'll start by adding in a little road here. Something like that. So I think what I'm going to do is we actually have a signature building that we can use for a gas station. We have a few of them, actually. We have some medium petrol stations from the UK. These are all from the UK pack. Use a large one. I don't really want to use a lot. I want to save the large one. I want to save that for something else. We could actually just try to zone one. I know I have a lot. Sorry, I just had to grab a sip of water there. All right. So with that being said, let's try to get some of these in here. So let's do like a 4x4. See if that's going to spawn what I want. And if it doesn't, then maybe I'll delete it until I get something that I want. And then for the rest of this, I'm actually going to use the Southwest pack, because we get some nice like restaurants and things here. And this is kind of like a big shop, so I'm just going to do like something like that. All right, so that'll be good there. And then for this part, I think what I'm going to do is maybe something like... yeah, I guess I'll extend that out, and then I think we can just do something like this. I kind of want to bring this like a little bit further back from the road so that we can have zoning on both sides. You know, putting some houses up here, you know, kind of overlooking the highway. Not the most luxurious place to live, but okay nonetheless. Oh, that's a continuous tool. My bad. I was like, why am I getting this weird curve? Couldn't tell. Yeah, we'll just do something kind of goofy here with this. We'll add in maybe some a few row homes, and we'll just fill it in with some low density. Even though this is more of like a little bit of a rural area, I think it's okay to have, you know, something like this over here. A couple of, you know, housing units. we'll do something like that. Oh, whoops, didn't want to do it that way. Make sure we're doing this right. There we go. Like that. Perfect. Now I will drag out, what did we use for these? Is this the waterfront? I think so. Yeah, we'll use the same thing. We'll drag out like a couple of these here. Something like that. Okay, there's some houses there. I do wish that we could find a way to kind of bring like these guys, you know, to get this to zone this way. And you know what? Found a way. When in doubt, use the and of course now they have no power or water. Cool. What do you mean I can't? What are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Come on now. City Skylines. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you not letting me draw this under the road? Unbelievable. Say, unbelievable. Alright, that's what we're doing then. We're going all the way down. Just gonna connect that right there. Connect that right there. Right there. What? What do you mean overlapping items? Of course it's overlapping. It's gonna connect. I am so confused. I am extremely confused. There we go. I was like, why won't it let me connect up to that? That is so weird. Okay. Anyway. And then we'll just, in order to avoid kind of like bottlenecking everything, we'll connect that up like so. And I guess that'll work. Whatever. Okay. So now, do that. And I know we got power too. Okay, where's power coming from? Power is going to come from... Man, I guess I do got to drag out a low voltage line, don't I? I kind of hate that. But I guess it's fine. Alright. Well, we'll live. Okay. Yeah, so now that I totally just destroyed everything, let's zone out the rest of this. So we'll do house there. Then we'll come across here. Do some of these. And yeah, this is kind of what I wanted here, just like something with a little bit bigger parking lot. And of course, that's not what we wanted. See if this gives us what we want. If not, I don't know. I don't really care too much. Oh, and of course, these are the same asset. Of course they are. Can't win. Can't win today, guys. Yeah, let's just go ahead and throw in a few more trees here in this area to kind of make this look good. And we'll probably call it a day here in a second. Try to make some of this a little bit more manicured. Like add in a few of these here, like so. Where are my oak trees at? There they are. And I'll probably come in one day and just detail like the highway off camera, because that's just a lot of work. Like making sure all of the you know, getting like all this kind of detailed up and smoothing out the, you know, getting the terrain the right way and everything. That's a lot of work that I'm just not really in the mood for today, to be quite honest with you. So we're gonna do that a different day. Just kind of work with what we got here for now. Which I'm not mad about, because we have done more than enough. This was a very productive stream, if I say so myself. I'm very happy with what we've accomplished today. And I'm looking forward, if you guys are around tomorrow, we'll probably be doing an American Truck Simulator live stream. Gonna work towards some Steam achievements. I like to do that sometimes. I like to, you know, give myself like a reason to play the game. And so doing like some specific achievements is one of the ways that I can jump into the game and do something like, you know, a little bit purposeful. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the paper trail achievement in an international Paystar. It's an old truck, old workhorse. You know, use a ton of those like in the game SnowRunner. I loved the Paystar. It's a great off-roader. It's a great like just workhorse of a truck. You know, it's one of those ones that's just kind of timeless and just always cool. So really excited to be doing that. So come on and stop on by tomorrow night if you're interested. I haven't set a time yet. Probably will be something similar, like 7:30 maybe. I think I usually do during the weekdays. It's a little bit easier for me. We'll do something like that. But yeah, come stop by and say hi. It'll be fun. Kind of want to drag this power line out just a little bit more. There we go. Do that. I like to give a few more connections. That way it'll be a little bit more effective. All right, there we go. I'm liking the looks of that. That looks a little bit better now that we have this area filled in. It was just getting a little bit sparse. There just wasn't a lot happening here. And man, I'm upset. Why are we getting the same asset? Why? Is this just the painful size that we have to deal with? Okay. Try one more thing. And I swear that was a 4x4. Was it not those gas stations? Don't know why I'm not getting the ones that I want. Unless it is European only, and that's why I'm not getting the... No, that's no way. Oh well. You know how it is. You know how it is. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. But yeah, overall city's looking alright. Oh, I did want to show you guys this. I ended up fitting this parking garage perfectly, like perfectly in this little space. And I think it looks pretty good. I didn't really know what to put here. And I didn't want to do like a big bus terminal or anything because the city's just not that big enough. And if I do put one in the city, it'd probably be like, I'm thinking about connecting it with like a park over here. So this looks, you know, we needed parking in this area because all we have are these street parking lot, like the street parking, and it's just not working. And I want to convert this to like a real nice boulevard with some trees and such, you know, over time when we come in and kind of detail out this downtown. So tree line streets make a big difference, and then it'll remove parking though. So then I figured, you know, we might want to have Of course it's full already, and I could add on to it, but I kind of don't want to right now. But yeah, I think that was a good addition there. And I'll probably add some more parking in some of these other areas, especially like, we have this urban elementary school here that is already at capacity. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. That's wild. Might add that extension wing sooner than I think. I may be adding another school in here as well, apparently. Maybe that's what's going to go right here. Who knows? Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But, yeah, what do you guys think? Oh, come on. Seriously? Of course. Oh, wait. This is annoying. I just want to like connect this to like here or something. I mean, is that too much to ask for? Apparently not. Okay. Great. Well, what do you guys think? Think it's good enough for today? I think it is. I think the city needs a good old detailing episode. We need like a park episode. We need a city service episode. And then we'll really be rolling like with this part of the map because, it looks okay, but it doesn't look the best. And you can see like the areas though that we gave a little bit, a little bit more love, like this. I'm happy with this. I think this looks great. The forestry, awesome. Farmland, yes, this is exactly what I wanted to do today. But then like, like this neighborhood, like we got to add some trees around here, make this look feel a little bit more closed off. Add some trees around these tracks, make this look a little bit better. I mean, I don't know. There's plenty of stuff, again, like fix like some of these here. This looks a little bit whack. Kind of clean these up a little bit, put some smaller trees, make it look a little bit better, a little bit more dense forestry. Kind of like what we did here. We just planted some trees. And I think these make these yards look really good. So yeah, we got to come back and do some stuff like that. You know what I mean? But other than that though, I think it actually was looking a little bit better. We got this water tower here now. I like this water tower a lot. Little sunglasses kind of as you're driving up through here to go to your forestry industry job. You just see this little water tower and you're like, yeah, that's home. That's where I'm at. So I like that a lot. And actually, let me see. I bet we barely made a dent in our unemployment rate. Of course, 31%. Yes, beautiful. That is exactly what we don't want. Okay, so we need to do something with unemployment. I mean, man, like there is just a lot of demand for all jobs, commercial and industrial. So maybe that means we actually end up doing a big, industrial expansion kind of over here even, and converting this old crappy farmland to another industrial park. We need something like that. We need something that's going to give tons of jobs. And yeah, right now it's just nothing's really cutting it. So maybe the university, when we build that, that'll give some. I don't know, man. I don't know what we're gonna do. That's a big demand. And I mean, like I said, I wanted to show you guys 5 employees here, 12 employees here. Maybe it's just like the size of it, because this one's got 10. Yeah, this one's about that size. This only got 3, and this one's only got 2. Yeah, so it must be size relative to the size of the zone. But yeah, like this farm, 10 on the farm ain't bad. And this is not. Oh, is this not? Come on. This is empty. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Oh, wait. It seems like it's kind of glitching out here. Not quite sure why that is. Huh. That one's kind of wacky. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it has to do with road like not being close enough or something. Try that. See if that stays. There we go. Oh, no. Huh. That's really strange. I wonder why that's doing that. Oh, these are all going up. What the heck is going on? My farms keep going away. That's really weird. Is there that much of a surplus that they're just like not? Let me look real quick, before we kind of get done here. Where is my imports and exports budget? That's where it is. Yeah, what the heck is going on, man? We're running a huge deficit. I wonder if these are not even... Wow. Yeah, what's going on with these? City Skylines. We have another bug. What is happening? That's so weird. All of the farms are just like not, they just keep coming and going and they're just not producing anything. Wow, that is really strange. Yeah, you can see it keeps like refreshing itself. Huh. I've never seen that. That's really weird and I don't know why that's happening, and that's really disappointing because I'm actually trying to make functional industries that are trying to create jobs for my city. But it appears that nobody wants to work, or no companies want to stay in business, I guess. Huh. Okay. Well, that's always fun to discover. But anyway, I think with that being said, I am going to go ahead and call it here for an episode. Thank you guys very, very much for watching the stream. I really, really appreciate it. Pretty consistent amount of you guys have been watching on the channel, and a pretty consistent amount of you guys were on the stream all night, so I really appreciate it. And yeah, I think like I said, stay tuned for a American Truck Simulator stream probably tomorrow night. Then after that, stay tuned next week. Hopefully, if I get time to do an episode, we'll probably do we'll do a mixture of like detailing for this city, and maybe we'll build like another waste management facility, because it seems like our bigger buildings are having trouble with garbage, and I don't want that to be a factor because it's going to significantly affect the efficiency of the building. Yeah, you can see already here, piled up garbage. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, we don't want that. So definitely going to do something like that in the next episode, in addition to really kind of detailing like this down. I think we'll just focus on the downtown and do some parks and think, you know, like this big spot right here, we'll detail that, and just kind of like this whole area through this highway here. And then everything else, maybe I'll do like the highway and stuff we'll do off camera, but then like all this, maybe, you know, we'll do in like another episode where we'll just kind of work on some of the outskirts and things. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go and finish up watching the movie and go and get ready for bed here in a little bit, because I got work tomorrow. So we did a lot and I'm really happy with it. And yeah, it is a shame though that these farms are like bugged. I don't know what is going on. I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna see if anybody else is having this issue, because that's really strange. Maybe the internet will be helpful, and maybe I'm just not the only one that's having this problem. But okay, hope you guys all have a great rest of your night. Thank you again, and I will see you guys either tomorrow or next week or later this week with some more videos. Peace out.